Some celebrities buy yachts, others buy private islands. But these stars, they bought things so strange, so unbelievable, you'll wonder if fame makes people forget what reality even is. From dinosaur skulls to ghost detectors. This isn't your average luxury haul, because once you hear what one of these celebs spent thousands on, you'll question everything. Let's dive into the 13.5 strangest celebrity purchases ever recorded, and trust us, you won't see this coming. Let's start with the king of eccentric spending himself, Nicolas Cage. At the height of his career, Cage wasn't just buying castles and rare comics. No, he outbid Leonardo DiCaprio for a 67-million-year-old Tyrannosaurus Bataar skull for $276,000. Yes, you read that right, he bought a literal dinosaur head. But it gets weirder. Years later, it turned out the skull had been illegally smuggled out of Mongolia. Cage had to return it, no refund, no apology, just gone. Imagine spending six figures to lose a dinosaur skull in international shame. While most celebs invest in home security systems, Lady Gaga took it to another realm, literally. She reportedly spent $50,000 on a ghost detection machine, terrified she might be haunted on tour. According to her team, Gaga is obsessed with the paranormal and takes her spiritual safety very seriously. Things got spooky fast. She even hired professional ghost hunters to sweep her dressing rooms before performances, because apparently bad energy kills the vibe faster than a wardrobe malfunction. When you're the daughter of Queen Bey, your toys aren't plastic. They're priceless. For Blue Ivy's birthday, Beyoncé and Jay-Z reportedly splurged $80,000 on a diamond-encrusted Barbie doll. Let that sink in. 80 big ones on a Barbie. But that's not all. The custom doll came with real diamonds, fancy outfits, and its own miniature designer accessories. Meanwhile, most kids are just happy their Barbie still has both shoes. Mike Tyson made a fortune and burned through it just as fast. One of his most absurd purchases? A $2.2 million gold bathtub. Yes, an actual bathtub, made of 24-karat gold, for soaking. You won't believe what else he bought. At one point, he also owned pet tigers and a velvet-lined garage for his cars. The gold tub, though? That was for relaxing like a king or drowning in debt. Paris Hilton is famous for loving her tiny dogs. But she didn't just spoil them with treats. She built them a $325,000 mini mansion. The two-story structure includes a chandelier, designer furniture, air conditioning, and even a freaking balcony. It gets even crazier. The whole thing was modeled after her own Beverly Hills estate. Essentially, her dogs live better than most college students. Talk about spoiled dogs. Who goes and spends that much on a doghouse? Well, Paris does, that's who. Kanye West is no stranger to the strange. But this one still haunts people. At one point, Kanye allegedly bought a lifelike replica of a human body without skin to study anatomy and inspiration. Yes, you heard that right. A full-size skinned human figure with muscles, veins, the works on display in his studio. It gets even weirder. He reportedly placed it near his piano so he could look into the human soul while composing. Whatever works easy. Justin Bieber doesn't just drive luxury cars, he transforms them. In 2011, he paid to have a Cadillac CTS-V modified into a Batmobile-inspired ride, complete with suicide doors and Batman logos. But that's not all. The wheels featured custom JB hubcaps, and the dashboard had glowing blue lights because Batman, but make it pop star. Even Bruce Wayne might have raised an eyebrow. Celine Dion's voice is iconic, and she'll spend anything to protect it. While performing in Las Vegas, she had a $2 million custom humidifier installed above the stage to maintain perfect air quality. Things got foggy. The system was designed to keep her vocal cords at ideal hydration, even in the dry desert air of Nevada. Honestly, respect. But $2 million? That's some moist dedication. When Katie Holmes was pregnant, Tom Cruise bought a professional-grade sonogram machine for their home. Not a baby monitor, a full-on hospital-level sonogram machine. You won't believe this next part. He claimed he wanted to monitor the baby himself and even perform the ultrasounds. Eventually, he had to donate the machine to a hospital. Probably for the best. Victoria Beckham once received a gift worth more than some people's cars, a 24-karat gold iPhone, customized by Stuart Hughes, worth over 33,000 big ones. But she still wasn't impressed with the iPhone. Rumor has it she had it stashed away because it didn't match her aesthetic. Must be nice to have that kind of cash to throw around. Meanwhile, the rest of us are buying phone cases off clearance racks. Johnny Depp's spending habits could be their own Netflix series. He once reportedly spent over $75 million on 14 homes, including a French village. But the real kicker? He also bought a cannon to disperse Hunter S. Thompson's ashes into the sky. It gets more oddly fascinating. The cannon alone cost $3 million, and the memorial became legend. Only Depp could turn grief into a spectacular event. But here's the thing, he didn't stop there. He also dropped millions on private islands, rare paintings, and even a chain of vineyards. At one point, his staff expenses alone reached $300,000 per month, and yet he claims he was never reckless, just investing in freedom. Shaq loves Superman, like really loves him. So much so he commissioned a circular Superman-themed bed that's 30 feet wide. Yes, 30 feet. That's wider than some hotel rooms, complete with the S logo stitched into the sheets. Things got massive. When asked why he needed it, Shaq simply replied, "I'm a big man." But the Superman obsession doesn't stop with furniture. He also owns hundreds of pieces of Superman memorabilia, from custom jewelry to rare comics. In fact, Shaq once admitted he modeled his life after Superman, minus the cape. And honestly, he's one of the few people on Earth who could pull it off. In the late 80s, actress Kim Basinger literally bought a town. For $20 million, she purchased Brazelton, Georgia, with dreams of turning it into a film hub and tourist spot. But it didn't go as planned. The venture tanked, she went bankrupt, and sold it off for a fraction of the cost. Turns out, buying a town is a lot harder than it looks. And yet she wasn't entirely wrong. Years later, major studios did look to Georgia for productions. In a way, she was just ahead of her time, but also way out of her depth. The press had a field day calling it Hollywood's most expensive mistake. But Kim never apologized. She called it a bold idea that didn't work. We couldn't leave this one out. U2's Bono once forgot his favorite hat in London while in Italy. Instead of having it mailed, he paid $1,500 to fly it first class. Yes, a seat for the hat. The hat was escorted through the airport, given VIP treatment, and arrived on its own flight. It gets even more ridiculous. The flight included champagne service, a seatbelt, and flight attendants reportedly briefed on the importance of the item. No tracking number, no checked baggage. This hat flew in style. And when it landed, it was personally delivered to Bono in time for a performance. All this for a felt hat he could have replaced for $20. But in Bono's world, some hats are priceless. There's rich, and then there's whatever this is. From gold bathtubs to dinosaur skulls, these celebrity splurges prove that money doesn't just change how you live. It changes what you think is normal. And if this list seemed outrageous, some of these purchases were hilarious. Some were straight up unhinged. But all of them reveal something deeper. When you have more money than time, reality starts to blur. A dollhouse becomes a mansion. A hat becomes a VIP, and a cannon becomes a farewell gift. These aren't just stories about weird things. These are glimpses into a world where logic doesn't matter and nothing is off limits. They show us how disconnected fame can become, and how even the richest people on Earth are still trying to fill something. Maybe it's legacy, maybe it's boredom, maybe it's just because they can. But one thing is clear: the stranger the purchase, the louder the message. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and we'll see you in the next deep dive.